just like Adelaide did in the first half of the other game.
We're underway here at Perth. Game 1 of this semi-final battle between the Lynx and the Capitals. Garbin's led the way gallantly all season for the Lynx too. Scherf against Froling. That's going to be a great matchup. Froling starting this one, but Scherf got the better of her first up. So Wilson looks to inbound to Sykes. Also in the running for MVP. Smart pull-up jumper is good.
Catching it in motion and ready to score.
Good dish from Scherf to Garbin, who can finish that off easily. And Griffin dashed towards the other side of the court. Wilson back to Griffin. The veterans work in tandem. So Scherf just wanting to find Jackie Young again. Bounce pass was the option. Young, tough finish on Britt Sykes. Garbin will pull down the boards this time. Mabry's off and running. Guarded by Griffin, gets around her and gets the tough finish too. Looking to prove a point to Sykes. Smart on the corner, pulls up for a long three, and that's her signature.
X marks the spot for Brittany Smart, as X marked the spot there for Carly Ernst at the top of the key in the other game.
And there, speaking of X marks the spot, here's Sammy Wickham to join the party. Garbin wanted to pull up and gets inside all on her own. It just fell apart there for the Caps. Here's Young. Tupaia on the floor for her first minutes tonight. So too Bunton. Caps going to their bench early as Young. Long two is great.
Her ability just to pull up is just so nice to watch. As is Sykes, exactly the same thing at the other end. Both teams, I thought, would make subs early and get rotations.
Here's the sub on cue, Melbourne! Into the game straight away, exactly what they want. For her first minutes tonight, part of the leadership group for the Perth Lynx this year, and she's been standing up in crucial moments as a sub. Young gets to work on Sykes, finds some separation and a basket to go with it.
What she can give this team.
Young leading the way on the floor with 6 points. Melbourne can get her 5th and does. Young, now Garbin. Matching up against Bunton. Got the friendly roll.
Just got Bunton just slightly out of the stance and she was able to take her off the dribble comfortably.
Here's Melbourne. She's had a hot start to this game. Can't continue it, but Bunton, good boards and one.
Setting good screens, getting good rebounds, rolling hard to the basket. And you can see there she was rewarded. It'll be interesting to see how she goes. She's been, isolating with COVID, and sometimes when you come back, it affects.
Wilson guarded by Chibatoni. Out to Bunton. That's Carly Ernst style behaviour.
Isn't it ever? Mabry has a couple of fouls now with that offensive charge, so she's just going to have to take careful, although we see her subbed out as you would as the coach.
Tupaia drains that one, and the Caps are back on level terms. Greg High is down courtside for us. Greg. Perth certainly picking up the pace now. Here's Garbin for back-to-back threes.
I am so pleased for Darcy Garbin. And before that in Ballarat, she was unbelievably consistent in that. So really pleased that she nailed that one. Followed up by Tupaia.
Alex Sharp comes on for Gandini. Two Willetton teammates as the Caps put another one down. Bench sitters. As of yet, game's not over by any stretch. Sharp, she can get the first bench points. There it goes. Here's Smart from the perimeter. Oh my goodness, Britt Smart. So at the double-digit points now as Young gets in the paint and gets that friendly roll.
Those two are having a great battle. How fun to watch.
Young with 9 points, Sykes with 2, but Sykes has been doing it all on the defensive end. A Smart gets back-to-back buckets. And Tupaia with the good hands. She's going to go all the way to the basket here. Good start from Talia Tupaia and the Caps.
And attack her with her getting Froling and Wilson in that screen and let them go to work in that regard. But he's really happy with their level of intensity, defensive intensity especially. And we saw that level of frustration called by a talent like the line, Petrie.
guarded by a fellow Opal in Melbourne. Goes to work and finds herself some space in the finish. Wanted the foul as well, but she gets that much-needed basket for the Lynx. It's it back. Hands off to Wilson. And this one goes in.
You know, of years of those two playing together, and they just read each other so well.
Mabry, speaking of reading things well, how about that finish? Couldn't regain the lead. Here comes Jackie Young now, streaming up the floor. Bench up and about, so they should be. Jackie Young gets another one to fall. Great game against Sykes as well. A tough opponent by any measure. As Mabry pulls up and gets that one to go. The fireworks go off at Bendat Basketball Centre. Wickham and Melbourne, it's been a fascinating matchup. Mabry for back-to-back buckets. How did she get that to finish?
Well, Britt Smart was wearing her like a glove.
She get triple baskets now. Goes around to Paya, pulls up for a long three. That is fantastic stuff from Marina Mabry.
You just can't even...
Game so far. But let's take a look at this from Marina Mabry. She scored 8 points in a matter of...
Every single time. Even, you know, even if she doesn't have the time or space, she's going to shoot it.
And Griffin gets the crucial and one. Seconds, just under a minute. And now Griffin getting herself into the game. Big mismatch there. And Young's off and running. Whitcomb from the corner. That's the start that Perth wanted in the second half.
It's pretty much money.
Perth 60% from three-point range. As Griffin gets one back. Tapia just loses the handle. And Young can get herself up and running once again. Mabry, long three. Can't finish. Garvin, good offensive board and good offensive finish as well.
Perth to really stretch out this lead too much further because hard to reel in. Great drive by Kelsey Griffin, great finish.
Also has 5 rebounds as Kelsey Griffin. Scherf has a few herself and now gets herself a bucket.
Third quarter, really setting tone. She's maybe not known for her defensive prowess, but we're really seeing her set standards and what the other Lynx players really need to expect to do.
And Perth have found their legs once again. Young and one. Let's see what they do here in this offensive set. Melbourne, she's really good at setting the tone. Gives it off to Tapia. Griffin 2 to shoot. Tough finish. Here's Melbourne for a long three. Jacks that one. Here she is now guarding Mabry very closely. Mabry gets herself a separation though and gets the finish. Griffin to Tapia. Pull up 2 is good. Got to watch their fouls though. Nearly in the bonus.
Wow.
Mabry once again, turn and finish. Under a minute here in this third period. Caps trailing by 12. Wilson reduces it to 10.
Caps are hanging around. You know, you get this under 10 and it's still sort of anybody's opportunity.
Here's Scherf. You've been asking for it, Laurie, and she delivers. It's Perth on the ascendancy so far. Eisenbarger can get them off to a perfect start, and she does. Good hustle by the Lynx. Young finds herself some space and gets the bucket. Big numbers all over the floor as Tapia gives it off to Griffin, and she gets that double-double now. Sykes gets herself into the game. Momentum back on the cap side for the time being. To Sykes. 3 called. Either way, Canberra cut that margin back ever so slightly. Scherf this time can land herself a 3, and that'll hurt the Caps.
They just haven't been able to put pressure on the rim and get themselves to the foul line.
Garvin from the corner drains it. Sykes up against Scherf, gets the elevation and gets the finish. Wilson now getting to work over to Sykes. One of the long 3. Oh, no look past to Griffin. That was so clever by Kelly Wilson.
Well, they say great minds think alike, Laurie, and it's exactly what I thought. In the second half, we've seen the interior focus of Capitals really dry up, whether that's because the margin started to extend.
Smart. Jacks up a long three. Over to Tapea. Elbow jumper's good. Sykes over to Smart. Back-to-back threes. You betcha.
Well, you'd have to be happy if you were Paul Goris out of that timeout.
Sammy Whitcomb, ball in hand. She's up to a double-double. 18 points, 10 rebounds. Make that 20 and 11 rebounds.
You know, to a reasonable margin so that...
There's the finish that Scherf wants.
That's the finish, the concentration, result, and the performance that their home team has put on display tonight.
So that's the end of game one of this semi-final battle. The Perth take the win, 91-77, a 14-point margin.